They don't necessarily see the big picture, nor do they care. So if something's not fun for them, it's really easy for them to resist doing it and just not do it. Maybe it's too hard for them and they don't want to admit it. Maybe it's overwhelming. They have too much stuff to do and they just don't know where to begin, so they don't do anything. They might think it's dumb. I heard that so many times as a high school math teacher.
Welcome to the Empowered Parent Podcast with Renee. Being a teenager is hard. Being a parent of a teenager can be even harder. Each episode, we deliver tips, tools, tricks, and stories to help you feel empowered, confident, and energized as the parent of a teenager. Teenagers want to be happy. Sometimes they just need a little help along the way. Now, here's your host, Renee Sinning. Renee is a certified life, leadership, and success coach for teenagers and their parents. She's also a mom of 3 young adults and an experienced high school educator of 18 years. Renee is well-versed in everything teen. Now, without any further ado, here's Renee.
Hey everybody, it's Renee Sinning, life leadership and success coach for teenagers. In this episode, we're going to talk about a topic that all parents of teens deal with at some point during the teenage years. And that topic is resistance. Why teenagers resist doing things that we know are important and how we can help them. So the question is, why is it so hard for my teenager to get stuff done? It's so frustrating as a parent to have to continuously nag your teenager. It's not good for your relationship. It doesn't motivate them. But at the same time, as a parent, we know that there's things that they need to get done in order to be successful in life, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is why teens avoid doing things that we as parents know are important. Things like homework, studying for a test, turning in your assignments, looking for a job, getting a driver's license, cleaning your room. Maybe that's not the most important thing, but it's still an important skill because it helps teens to get stuff done. Things like college or trade school applications, anything teenagers don't want to do, it's really easy for them to resist doing and or avoid doing altogether. Why do we avoid? Why do they avoid? Some of the same reasons that we avoid. It's not fun. For example, as an adult, paying bills isn't fun. We have to do it anyhow, or we're going to lose our house or our car or whatever that may be. We might not want to go to work, but we do. And when we get there, we do the work because we have to, so we don't lose our job. For teenagers, the consequences are not always so clear cut. They don't necessarily see the big picture, nor do they care. So if something's not fun for them, it's really easy for them to resist doing it and just not do it. Maybe it's too hard for them and they don't want to admit it. Maybe it's overwhelming. They have too much stuff to do and they just don't know where to begin, so they don't do anything. They might think it's dumb. I heard that so many times as a high school math teacher. I heard so many times, when am I ever going to use this? And so when teenagers think that they're doing something, there's really no point in it. They just might not do it or avoid doing it. There's all kinds of reasons why teenagers resist getting stuff done. So instead of doing the things that need to be done, they're going to do things like maybe they're going to draw if they like to draw, or they're going to paint. They're going to spend time on social media, video games. Maybe they're going to watch movies or go out with their friends. Instead of doing the things that are harder or not fun, they're going to do the things that bring them joy, things that make them happy, which makes sense if you think about it. But the bottom line is they need to get things done to move forward in their life. So there's all kinds of reasons why teenagers resist getting things done. And it's kind of our job as a parent to figure out what that is and what can we do to help them so that they can move forward in life and make those positive steps to become functioning and contributing young adults, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a few ideas, but first of all, I would like to be perfectly honest and say it's possible that no matter what you do as a parent or try to get them to do, it still might not work. Some teens are kind of hardwired in their brain to not do what the parents want them to do, right? At least at certain points during the teenage years. So I'm going to give you a few things to try to be aware of to help your teenager. Even if you explain the answers to them, they still might feel like you're nagging. So keep in mind that it's possible that no matter what you do to try to help them, you still might consider seeking outside help. That might be an avenue worth exploring if you aren't getting the results that you want, trying to help them yourself. I've been there, so I get that. We had to do that exact thing. And I had all the information. I knew what to do when my son was struggling, but he didn't want to listen to us, right? Sometimes teens just don't want to listen to their parents, and they're going to resist. Sometimes it's hard to break through that barrier, and you need someone else to come in and kind of help out. So just keep that in mind. All right. And then the next thing is trying to determine if this is a can't or a won't situation. This is going to help you help them and can alleviate a lot of stress on your part. So is your teenager capable of getting things done? So have they proven in the past that they can be successful, that they know how to plan and prioritize and organize their life, that they have the capability to get stuff done? Or is this something that's been a struggle for years on end? You know, with our son, we could go all the way back to kindergarten. He struggled year after year after year after year. So for him, it wasn't necessarily, I can't do it and I'm lazy or motivated. It was, or no, I won't do it. It was more like, I can't. And so if you have a child that's really been struggling and continues to struggle, this could be an executive function deficit. This is no fault of their own. It's just their brain isn't quite developed. The part of our brain that helps us to get stuff done and to execute complex tasks is often, in some kids, just not developed until their 20s. It doesn't mean they're lazy or unmotivated, but rather the way things stand right now, they just can't do it and it isn't working for them. The good news is that these skills can be learned. Executive functions can be learned, and there are people like me, there's coaches, there's executive function coaches, there are teen coaches that really can help with these kind of skills and get your child on the right track. All right, so that's one thing. Try to figure out as a parent, is this a can't, they can't do it, or they just won't do it, right? And a lot of that is just looking back to the past and seeing kind of where they've been all along. If they've proven they can do it, then we have to go on to some of the other options. So next, okay, you kind of figured that out. Number one, assuming they can do it, right? You've seen it, they've kind of proven that in the past. Have a conversation with them. Try to figure out why they're stuck. What's going on with them right now? Or is it too much? Is it too many steps? Is this a time management thing? Is this a topic that bores them and they just maybe don't have the skills to deal with resistance? Or is it too hard? Like, what is it that's keeping them from taking even those baby steps to get things done? If they're open to sharing with you, this is going to be a lot easier for you to come up with a plan and help them. If they are not open to sharing with you and you know that they are capable, then we start talking about what kind of things they want. What do they want out of their life? And recognizing that things like phone, computers, social media, car, those things are all privileges. And so are your kids getting these privileges and still not doing their part, which would be whatever it is that you want them to get done, whether it's college application, focusing on homework, getting their driver's license. So if they have all these privileges and they're still not doing the things, then you may have to come in and start taking them away. I had so many conversations with parents of teenagers during school conferences, and parents are like, they won't do their homework and I just don't know what to do. And, you know, but they're driving, they have a car, they have a phone. A lot of parents are hesitant to take away their phone. I get that, because you want the connection to them. Buy them a flip phone. You can get cheap flip phones at Walmart or Target. Go get them a flip phone. You'll still have connection, but they don't have the social media access. You can get online and shut off their internet. If you can afford to go without internet, your whole family, shut it off. Otherwise, you can always take their phone. You can take their car keys. And then a lot of parents will say, well, they have to Uber to work. Well, I mean, they have a job. Make them Uber and make them pay for it. If they have a job, they have money, that might get them going. You need to figure out what it is that's going to get them motivated to do the things they want to do. And as a parent, control what you can control. You can control their access to some of their privileges. A lot of kids today think that they're not privileges, that they're just expected, but they are not. So they are privileges. Phone, computer, internet access, all of that, car, those are privileges, right? We don't owe our teenagers those things. Okay. If your teenager is talking about they are having a hard time because they just can't focus, you could always try time chunking. Get an old-fashioned analog clock, put it on their desk, and help them break things into mini tasks. Maybe spend 10 minutes doing something. If they don't want to do math and they have 20 problems, okay, do this for 10 minutes, right? Or do this for 20 minutes. So you can try time chunking with them. And you can also try task chunking. A lot of times if kids are struggling, especially with executive function, and they have a big project to do and they don't even know where to begin, break it into tasks. My phone was on, sorry about that. So phone chunking, task chunking, that can be really helpful to kids that are resistant to do the work, and it might take a little bit of help on your part, but it can help them to get some mini wins and build confidence, boost their self-esteem, improve their grades, and so on. Again, as a parent, your kids may just simply be resistant to learning these things for you, even if you have good intentions, even if you explain the why. That's where you can consider seeking outside help. I am a life leadership and success coach for teenagers. I work with teens every day on everything from planning, prioritizing, organizing, to one-on-one coaching with self-confidence, self-esteem, anything really that's going on in teen world. I do have a Sunday and Wednesday evening program going on right now that deals specifically with planning, organizing, and prioritizing. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and reach out to me and I'll get you the details, or just go to my website. There's a little tab at the top that says Teen Pop. Pop standing planning, organizing, or prioritizing. The bottom line, parents, is that teenagers are going to resist doing things they don't want to do. It's human nature. We all do it. So it's always about figuring out what it is that is going to work for your teenager. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this session or this episode, and I will see you next time.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Empowered Parent Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Be sure to head over to reneesinning.com to pick up some parenting freebies. And remember, teenagers want to be happy. Sometimes they just need a little help along the way.